Greetings and welcome to all who are here today to celebrate Gwynedd Mercy University's class of 2019. My name is Mary Van Brunt, and I am the Vice President for Academic Affairs at Gwynedd Mercy University. Commencement is absolutely one of my favorite events of the year, and today I have the pleasure of serving as the convener for our proceedings. And in that capacity, I hereby officially declare the opening of Gwynedd Mercy University's graduate commencement services. This year's graduating class of 290 graduate students is one of the largest in the university's history. With the increase in the number of our total graduates to 885 students, this is the first year that we have separated out the graduate and undergraduate commencement ceremonies. I know you are all anxious to meet these graduates, so we will begin with an invocation offered by Catherine Royal, graduate of our Educational Leadership Doctoral Program. After the invocation, please remain standing for the national anthem, sung by the Voices of Gwynedd and directed by Professor Carol Evans. Please stand.
I invite you to join me as we pray for God's blessing. Blessed are you, God of all goodness. From many places you have called us. Along many paths you have drawn us. To this one place of commencement, this one path across the stage, this one moment in profound celebration. We give you thanks for the many people who have made our journeys possible. Bless the parents and children, spouses and partners, employers and colleagues and friends who sacrificed right alongside us as we pursued our dreams. Bless the Gwynedd Mercy faculty, staff, and administrators who worked with us so diligently to engage the serious work of graduate study and bring us to the next level of our professional ability. As we leave this place, may the curiosity and dedication that fueled our scholarship lead us to discern the critical needs of our times and bring us and respond with courage and generosity. May we walk in your light and be people of mercy to everyone we meet. As we pray in your most holy name, amen.
Please be seated. It is now my distinct pleasure to invite the sixth president of Gwynedd Mercy University, Deanne D'Amelio, to offer opening remarks.
Good morning. Graduation is one of the most joyful celebrations and biggest achievements in life. It is a day that I know family and friends have been anticipating for many years, and a moment at which students have worked very hard to arrive. At the university, there are also many people who work hard to ensure that this day is a wonderful experience for all. I'd like to acknowledge and thank Board of Trustees Chair Nancy Dunleavy and the members of the Board of Trustees who are here with us today. These are dedicated professionals who volunteer their time and talents to ensure that Gwynedd Mercy University is strong and a leader within higher education. I'd like to ask them to please stand and be acknowledged. The graduation festivities of the last few days required considerable planning and organization. So on behalf of the university community, I extend appreciation to our Vice President for Student Services and Dean of Students, Mr. Josh Stern, and to the Commencement Committee for their leadership in organizing all of the events related to commencement. To our staff colleagues, alumni, and students serving today as ushers and facilitators, I thank you for your incredible service to our graduates and their families. Furthermore, I wish to acknowledge colleagues from all of our offices who have played a significant role in making arrangements for today's events. I am grateful to our Director of Campus Ministry, Christine Eberly, and all who planned yesterday's baccalaureate service. As well, I acknowledge and thank the Voices of Gwynedd for their beautiful music today. I further recognize those who organized yesterday's convocation and congratulate once again all of our graduating students who were recognized for their academic achievements. Your program lists the students who received major recognition at the honors convocation yesterday. At Gwynedd Mercy University, students are taught to utilize the excellent education that they've received to engage in work that will be of service to others in the world, to transform the world by transforming lives. Students are taught that the cultivation of compassion, intellectual inquiry, dedication to truth, mercy, and justice is essential in improving the human condition. With this approach, we prepare students for successful careers and meaningful lives. As distinctive Mercy graduates, you have the honor and privilege of living out this mission on a daily basis. You are preparing to do noble work, and I encourage you to always remember the unique power that you have to positively influence lives around you. There is no doubt that we will continue to live in a rapidly changing world. Navigating this world will require great resiliency, adaptability, and skills to ensure that you will prosper in jobs that don't even exist yet in a world we cannot quite imagine. I am confident that you are ready. Your many teachers, and by that I mean your professors, deans, dissertation advisors, and many other staff who make up this community have worked hard to prepare you for this challenging but very rewarding and exciting journey that you are about to begin. And I know that you join me in thanking them. I especially want to recognize the faculty who supported you, tutored you, challenged you, pushed you, and cheered you on. I ask the faculty to please stand and be recognized. I know that no one is more proud of you and your achievements than they are, and we are all so looking forward to hearing about your next steps. Our more than 21,000 distinctive Mercy graduates are using the skills and values that they've learned here and are living out their dreams all over the world. Take David Schaefer, who graduated with his master's in education with certification in secondary biology. David teaches at an alternative secondary school where he addresses the needs of his students through trauma-informed and brain-based pedagogy in all aspects of his work. Or Alfonso Evans, who was recently promoted to Assistant Superintendent for Middle Schools, Chester Community Charter Schools, a company that operates 9 schools in Chester County. Or 2017 EDD graduate Derek Coleman, who is the superintendent of the River Rouge School District, an urban school district adjacent to Detroit. Derek has been able to raise enrollment by over 600 students, eliminate a $3.4 million deficit, and gave parents a reason to believe in their local schools again. These are just a few representative examples of how GMercyU graduate education is transforming lives and transforming the world. I know the same will be true for all of you. Today we celebrate all that you have accomplished thus far and look forward to all of the greatness that is still yet to come. Here at GMercyU, we have a belief that education is a lifelong process that enriches the whole person intellectually, morally, and spiritually. So while you may be graduating with your graduate degree today, your journey is still only beginning. Congratulations. God bless you. Thank you.
Commencement is a formal public celebration for students, faculty, staff, trustees, families, friends, and the civic community. And the awarding of an honorary degree serves as a source of celebration and inspiration for the university community. The criteria for awarding an honorary degree by Gwynedd Mercy University are the following: is a person of any faith who embodies the mission and values of the university, shows evidence of outstanding achievement in the humanities, arts, sciences, or in a profession, in government or public affairs, education, religion, industry, or in commerce, shows evidence of distinguished service and performance in his or her accomplishments that support the ideals and values of Gwynedd Mercy University and serves as an example for students or alumni and society, and shows evidence in his or her life of a commitment of service to humankind. Will Sister Mary Sullivan please step forward?
Catherine Macaulay, the first Sister of Mercy, once wrote, "The simplest and most practical lesson I know is to be good today, but better tomorrow." What Catherine Macaulay suggested in her letter was a life pursuit, a purposeful action that moves us to betterment of community, world, and self. But no one knows this better than Sister Mary Sullivan, acclaimed scholar and author of the definitive works on the life of Catherine Macaulay. Catherine Macaulay in the Tradition of Mercy was published in 1997, and according to one review, this is a collection of some of the most important writings by and about Catherine Macaulay, and it includes letters, memoirs, and annals by many of the first Sisters of Mercy, and Macaulay's original manuscript of the Rule and Constitutions of the Order, critically edited for the first time. Two other books The correspondence of Catherine Macaulay from 1818 to 1841, and The Path of Mercy, the life of Catherine Macaulay, complete the history of this world-renowned woman whose reach, even today, is felt across the globe. For more than 30 years, Sister Mary Sullivan has shared the Mercy story through seminars and retreats on Catherine Macaulay and Mercy spirituality all over the world, as far away as New Zealand and as close as her hometown of Rochester, New York. Sister Mary, as a professor emerita of language and literature and dean emerita of the College of Liberal Arts at the Rochester Institute of Technology, has been recognized by a series of writing awards in her name that celebrate a student's work in women's and gender studies. As Laura Shackelford, an associate professor in the Department of English and current director of the Women's and Gender Studies program, says at the Rochester Institute of Technology, quote, "She's inspiring because of her relentless efforts to not only increase knowledge and awareness, but to put her insights into practice and share these with multiple and global communities through writing, speaking, fundraising, and advocating efforts of many kinds," end quote. A specific part of the global community that Professor Shackelford referenced is Sister Mary's involvement with the Mercy Focus on Haiti project. The mission statement of this initiative is as follows: passionate for the gospel of Jesus Christ and witnessing to the legacy of Catherine Macaulay, Mercy Focus on Haiti members are led to service and solidarity with people who are materially poor, especially those living in Haiti. We partner with the Haitian people to meet their unmet needs, and we collaborate with like-minded organizations. This initiative is led by the core members, who are persons who comprise the decision-making body of Mercy Focus on Haiti and are responsible for setting direction, policy, and budget. Sister Mary is one of these core members, and she devotes countless hours to assisting these individuals in their search for a better life. Although now in her 80s, Sister Mary continues her traveling and teaching. In November 2017, as part of the new leader orientation program for the Sisters of Mercy, Sister Mary gave a significant presentation on mercy mission and charism to members of this important group. And this is just one recent example of her dedication to mercy. Sister Mary's life and actions provide a model of commitment and citizenship that are aligned with the core values and beliefs of Gwynedd Mercy University, including competence, integrity, compassion, service, and social responsibility. Her career models lifelong learning, and her humanitarian spirit engenders hope for the future of our church and of our nation. For these and other pertinent reasons, and by the virtue of the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, I am pleased to confer on Sister Mary C. Sullivan the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, with all the rights and privileges thereof, which throughout the world pertain to this degree, done at Gwynedd Valley, Pennsylvania, this 11th day of May, 2019. Will Sarang Sorne please step forward? Catherine Macaulay, the first Sister of Mercy, once wrote, "We must try to be like those rivers which enter into the sea without losing any of the sweetness of the water." In the words of one of Sarang's nominators, Sarang Sorne is a woman whose untiring efforts for the good of the immigrant community in the city of Philadelphia have earned her accolades from partner organizations, government agencies, elected officials, and those she has mentored, especially in the Asian American community. Strong words for a strong woman. Sarang came to the United States after spending many years in refugee camps on the border of Cambodia and Thailand to avoid the US bombing of Vietnam, and because of these constant moves was unable to attend school or receive any kind of formal education. Eventually, her family was able to come to the United States and settle in Philadelphia, where she was able to learn the language and complete her high school studies. Education has been an important part of Sarang's evolution into the person that she is today. Sarang completed an associate degree in liberal arts and humanities at the Community College of Philadelphia, a baccalaureate degree in management from the University of Phoenix, and a Master of Science degree in nonprofit NGO leadership management from the University of Pennsylvania School of Social Policy and Practice, being the first in her family to receive a master's degree. She has shared her love of education with many in the Philadelphia area, especially among those in the Asian American community. In her role as Director of Immigrant Affairs and Language Access Services in the Philadelphia Department of Behavioral Health and Intellectual Disability Services, she has shown exceptional leadership in creating and growing a nationally recognized organization that focuses on health, education, and economic development for those on the margins of society. Sarang is an advisor for Peace Day Philly, a United Nations initiative that works with individuals, communities, organizations, and civic leaders to build peace on personal, local, and global levels. Previously, Sarang served as the Executive Director and Director of Programs at the Cambodian Association of Greater Philadelphia. And while there, she initiated the development and implementation of a multi-year strategic plan, initiated and led fund development through donor and funder engagement, and cultivation and built sustainable relationships with community members and other stakeholders, both locally and nationally. Sarang has been recognized for her outstanding work by many different organizations, including Outstanding Community Service Awards, the Community Spirit Award by Philadelphia City Commissioner Edgar A. Howard, and a Special Achievement Award for dedicated service in support of human rights from the Department of Justice. Her spirit of giving back is highlighted by her community involvement as a commissioner on Mayor Nutter's Commission on Asian American Affairs, by membership on Keystone Mercy Health Plan's Community Advisory Committee, and as a volunteer in the Cambodian Women's Crisis Center in Cambodia, to name a few. It appears that Sarang has been able to be like those rivers mentioned by Catherine Macaulay, and the sweetness of the waters is not lost in all that she has done. Sarang has also taken to heart another of Catherine's adages that, quote, "The poor need help today, not next week," end quote. And this is evidenced by her deep involvement in bettering the life of those on the margins of society and commitment to those less fortunate than herself on a daily basis. She truly has followed Catherine Macaulay's path, that taking a purposeful action that moves us to betterment of community, world, and self, is the right thing to do. Her dedication and work demonstrate Gwynedd Mercy University's core values in action: integrity in word and deed, respect for the dignity of each person, service to society, and social justice. For these and other pertinent reasons, and by the virtue of the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, I am pleased to confer on Sarang Sorne the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, with all the rights and privileges thereof throughout the world that pertain to this degree, done at Gwynedd Valley, Pennsylvania, this 11th day of May, 2019. It is now my great pleasure to introduce our commencement speaker. Gloria Bonilla Santiago is a Board of Governors Distinguished Service Professor in the Graduate Department of Public Policy and Administration at Rutgers University in New Jersey. She also directs the Community Leadership Center at Rutgers University and is the overseer and board chair of the Leap Academy University Charter School in Camden, New Jersey. As a leading scholar, researcher, speaker, and international cross-cultural training consultant, Dr. Bonilla Santiago has more than 25 years of experience in program development, fundraising, strategic planning, and leadership training. In 1993, she received the Warren I. Sussman Award for Excellence in Teaching, the highest recognition for teaching given to Rutgers faculty by the president of the university. In 2008, she received the L'Oreal Paris Women of Worth Award, a national recognition that honors 10 women for their exemplary and transcending service to communities. Dr. Bonilla Santiago's record of service and the impact of her work with the community are exemplary by any standard. Her work on behalf of children and families has resulted in the development of a model charter school in Camden City that today serves 1,400 students. Her educational model and pioneer work is breaking grounds in the field of education nationally and internationally. Dr. Bonilla Santiago's work through the Rutgers Community Leadership Center is broadening and deepening the leadership base in New Jersey's communities and beyond. She spearheads a number of signature projects with local and national impact in areas of education, innovation, and school transformation, conflict resolution, diversity management, organizational behavior, leadership development, and community development. As a faculty member, Dr. Bonilla Santiago has been successful in translating her research and empirical work into real policy strategies that have garnered a number of important contributions, such as charter school legislation in New Jersey, the enactment of important legislation impacting women, and the education of urban children. Dr. Bonilla Santiago is the author of numerous articles and 3 books. She is also a blogger for U.S. World News, Huffington Post, and a commentator for ABC, NBC, and CBS News on issues of education. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Gloria Bonilla Santiago.
Good morning. Buenos dias. You have to say buenos dias. So first, I want to say congratulations to the class of 2019. But most importantly, I want to say congratulations to the parents and daughters and sons and fathers and grandparents and friends who are here, who work so hard for all of you to be able to be here today to celebrate. So if I can ask the class of 2019 to please stand up and face the audience. Could you please stand up and face the audience? Thank you. Parents, let's give them a great applause. This is for you. That's fabulous, fabulous. It's thank you so much. You know, this is why we work so hard, those of us who teach, those of us who work every day, to wait for a day like today. This is why I do this work, because you want to come out here and enjoy the celebration, the accomplishments. So to the members of the Board of Trustees, I say thank you so much for inviting me to this wonderful event. President Diane D'Amelio, faculty, staff, special guests, parents, students, what an honor to join you this morning in this very special occasion. So I decided to think about the theme, and so the theme that I selected, along with your president and your leadership in this institution for today, is respect for the dignity of each person. And we already begin to feel the sense of the dignity and the respect that is here for the human beings, for the people that are here every day, working so hard to ensure that this event is a success. I came in very early today because I didn't want to get lost. You know, I'm one of those people that I'm always ahead of everyone, and so I wanted to be ahead of time. But you'll know soon why I did that. And so as I came in this morning, I pay attention to very important things like the guards, say good morning to them, the people that are really helping, the volunteers who really were the ones who found me, right? And they said, yes, here's the, you know, everybody, the people with the flowers, you know, the basic people that are here working so hard, the cleaning folks that I found. Those people were very important, just like the guests that were here today. So we are living in a very difficult times, and seldom do we take the time to think about how do we treat each other's. Time is moving so quickly, and we do not longer reflect or think about what respect and dignity means for each other's. So as we celebrate the first year commencement for graduate students in this wonderful building, there's nothing more important than to reflect on the accomplishments and the challenges that led you here today. So I want to share with you today some of my experiences and lessons as not only as a daughter of a migrant farm worker, but about my life and my trajectory in my work. So my life work has been about social justice and creating space for those who don't have a voice in our society. So you see, I work for children. I work for them. And I tell you that they are the most precious things that life can give us. So they are the future, and we must treat them well. I have lived my life with intention, purpose, and meaning. I want to speak to you today about my story. I am a daughter of a migrant farm worker. I came here when I was a child with my parents. I'm not an immigrant, rather, I am a US citizen, Puerto Rican, who migrated here with my parents who came to the United States to work in the migrant workers' fields of South Jersey. When I was a child, I was 3 years old. My family migrated every 6 months for seasonal work, and my job as the youngest was to be the GPS navigator for my father and follow the map, the Route 95 to Florida and back to New Jersey every year. So you see, I became an expert on mapping. That's why I don't like GPS. That's why I came really early and I had a map. Because GPS sends me to the back roads, and I always get lost. So the only time we stopped while we were on the road was to eat, bathroom rest, and regroup. We did this until I was 14 years of age. We had no TV, no amenities, few books, and plenty of work in the farms. I learned to stay focused on a vision that led to this destination. I became resilient because I had no choice but to stay awake and focus to keep my father awake while he was driving and my family slept. So, my job was to go to school and support my family in the farms in the summers by working in the fields. So I understood early the meaning of work ethic, and most importantly, the meaning of respect for the dignity of each person who work in those fields. Long days without health benefits, low wages, and horrible housing conditions. It was in those fields that I understood the meaning of social justice and inequality. My father taught me the meaning of education, and he challenged me to stay in school. He took me to the library every day after long days after he worked in those fields, so I could read and do my homework. After long days in those fields where we lived, to ensure that I did good in school so that I could become the first one to graduate high school and attend college in my family. How many of you are the first ones to graduate college here today? Raise your hands. So you know how important that is, okay? How important that is. So my father ended up working for a very important man, Cesar Chavez. Who knows who Cesar Chavez is? Raise your hand. Very good. And so my father became an organizer. And because he became an organizer, I became a little organizer, okay? I was in his shoulders in every march that you can think of. I was with Cesar Chavez, Dolores Huerta. Think about that, okay? And so the most beautiful thing is, when I'm 14, I'm sent to a camp. My father says, you have to go to this camp because you got to be with children that think like you think. We want you to have the experiences of rich children. I said, Dad, I don't have the money. My dad convinced a Quaker woman who was very interested in recruiting me to go to this summer camp, and he sent me to Arizona. I went to Arizona with all these white kids from New York. The parents were rich. The only difference between me and them was that they didn't know who I really was. I was just a child. So we went to Arizona, and with about 30 of my friends now, by the time we were in a bus. One of the things that I want to share with you is we got to Arizona, and the first event we had was Cesar Chavez was visiting the camp to talk to these children that were rich who didn't know anything about migrant workers and the movement and the strikes. Let me tell you what happened. I said, I know who he is. None of the children believed me. They said, oh, she's making it up. But when Cesar got there, he says, oh, I know that child. That's the child of the daughter of Mr. Pedro Bonilla. He's one of my workers. And everybody said, oh my God. I became the most popular child after that. The next morning, Cesar Chavez had left, and we go to the store to buy groceries as a team, because part of the job was for us to go shopping. Well, guess what? There was a picket in front of the supermarket. And I said to all of my friends, we cannot go in the supermarket. They said, why not? I said, you missed the meaning of the speech of Cesar Chavez last night. You had the experience, you missed the meaning. And they said, what do you mean? I said, we cannot go in. And I explained why. I told them about the conditions of migrant workers. And let me tell you, I recruited 30 of my friends to join the movement. That was the victory of that trip. And I cannot tell you how happy I was, because then I joined some of these people later on. So by going to school and working so hard, my father taught me that breaking the cycle of poverty for our entire family, it was up on me. He wanted me to get an education, so that he said, we're going to break the cycle of poverty because you're going to be the first one to go. I never understood that until I started doing the work I do. So never underestimate the power of education. Never underestimate the power of your own dreams. I went to college. I graduated with incredible degrees, no debt, all because I worked really hard, always thinking about what my father taught me. I'm teaching you, he said, to legislate in the courts. Of course, he wanted me to become an attorney. okay? So I did apply to law school, I got in. But when I found out that I had to defend people that I didn't really necessarily believe in, I said, I can't do that. Because see, the issue of integrity for me was very important. So I decided to go and get my doctor. My father didn't know what that was. He said, are you out of your mind? I want you to be an attorney. I said, no, I'm going to get my doctor. He says, oh, you're going to be a medical doctor. I said, Dad, no, I'm going to be a philosopher. He says, you're never going to be able to make money. I said, well, we'll see, Dad. I learned early on that money comes to you when you're good in what you do, so you don't have to worry about that. I said, Dad. And so when I graduated from my doctorate degree, my dad said, well, I have a real bad chest problem. I'm hoping you can cure me. Dad never got over that. He always thought that I was a medical doctor. But I have some wonderful stories because I learned so much from my dad. My dad only had a 4th grade education. Well, my dad was the most brilliant man, wisdom. So remember these 4 words: be positive, principled, proactive, and productive. I chose to make a difference, and I chose academia to be the platform from where I wanted to make a difference. I became a non-traditional faculty member, I am not that kind of faculty member who just writes books and articles, teaches classes, and go home and takes sabbaticals. I've been at the university for 38 years. I had never taken a sabbatical. People say, are you crazy, Dr. Santiago? I say, no, why would I want to take a sabbatical for? I'm still going to work. I want to get paid if I'm going to work, right? So you know what? At the end of the day, it's about being productive for me. So as social entrepreneur, right, I learned to create social capital to empower families and children. Passed the first law in the state of New Jersey to create community schools, charter community schools for poor kids in the city of Camden. And today, I happen to tell you that going through that process during my career, the ability to be able to influence public policy to create something important for the city of Camden, a city that was the first city, the largest city in the country with the highest numbers of poverty, children dropping out, abysmal poor conditions. I'm happy to say that that school was so much needed back then and still today. Well, 25 years later, I began what it was, a cradle to prison, and I turned that into a cradle to college. Today we have 6 schools, 3,000 children, 100% of the students have graduated from high school and college placement. Of all the students that have gone to college, 90% have graduated college. So they are children that are African American and Latinx children. The miracle on Cooper Street is what I call this project. And I call it the miracle because no one believed that those kids from the city of Camden, no one believed that they will make it. Every time that I talked about my project, people thought I was doing research. I was writing a book, right? People thought that, this was just some kind of dream that I had in my head. Actually, I spoke to a legislator from the city of Camden who later on went to prison. But he said to me, I'm going to send you to, let me tell you what he said to me. I'm going to send you to Cooper Hospital to check your head because you're dreaming too much, Dr. Santiago. That's not going to happen. Well, guess what? The day that the legislation passed, the day that it passed, the president of the university invited the legislature, all the members, to the city of Camden for a tour and to do an announcement about the fact that we were going to get the first charter school. And he said, Dr. Santiago, I'd like you to introduce our senator, Senator Wayne Bryant. And I said, only with one condition. If I can really welcome him, because since he sent me to the hospital to check my head, I really want to welcome him. And so I said, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to the senator who sent me to the hospital to check my head because he said this will never happen. But what he doesn't know was that in this dream that I had, I saw him a day like today coming in here to say how great this project is, how much he did to get this passed, you see? And so everybody gave me a standing ovation, and 2 days later, he was arrested and to prison for 5 years. I got to tell you, and then he had a building that was from Rutgers University. So that building that he had, when I opened my baby program, the university said, we're going to give you that building. And I said, oh, no. I cannot have that building. I wanted the land. I would demolish the building. I went and fundraised $7 million, and I opened the first early learning research academy for babies in Camden. So, I tell you this story because you have to have courage. You have to take positions. You're graduating, and let me tell you, the world is waiting for you to question, to challenge people, to go and create spaces for the miracle on Cooper Street. Come see it. I call it Miracle on Cooper Street. Yes, I wrote a book later. It's called Miracle on Cooper Street, Lessons from the Inner City. It became the first book about these efforts. I published them, and I told the world about this model. So it's called the Leap Academy University Charter School. And by the way, if you don't have a job, I have 20 positions open in areas of math, science, literacy, Spanish, computer science, physics, special ed. See me after graduation. I will leave you my cards. We are graduating today, but you need a job. You need a job. And so, listen, we're graduating phenomenal children. You want to meet them. They are incredible, amazing children. Come to the city. They are waiting for you. They need you, and you need them in your life. If you want to teach, what a great opportunity to make a difference. Don't be afraid. Reach out and come see them. You will be amazed. You will be amazed of the things that these children are doing. I have a child who just has a patent. Do you know we had a problem in Camden with water, and he called American Water. He asked for the American Water to come to the city. They donated 3D printers, and he worked with a faculty member, and he developed a water filter for bottles. And now he has a patent. This is a kid from Camden. Can you believe it? I have this other child from Mexico who came here with his parents are undocumented, but he is a citizen. He started taking physics at Rutgers in 9th grade. He's phenomenal. Princeton just accepted him. He said, Doc, I want to wait for MIT. MIT accepted him. Doc, I want to wait for Harvard. Harvard accepted him. I said, where are you going to go? He's going to Columbia. Well, that's all right. Didn't come to Rutgers. Well, it just goes to tell you how wonderful, right? When you give an opportunity to children that have been left behind, who have been forgotten. Because I got to tell you, I feel their pain every day. Every day, those kids come to school, in spite of neglect, in spite of abuse, in spite of, bullets in their neighborhoods. That they walk to school with their uniforms and pride. And so, the second advice I have for you is allow yourself to discover yourself. I consider my job a journey to learn about yourself. So the purpose is to grow as a human being, to discover what you are good at and what you love to do and what you dislike. Love what you do. I come to work every day. To this day, I love what I do. Okay, 38 years later, I never left Rutgers. It was the only job I had. You know why? Because every time I tried to leave, Rutgers recruited me right back. But they never knew what was the real reason. The real reason was these kids. You see, I started an experiment, and I needed to prove that it could work. I needed to show Rutgers that I can turn back these kids into the university. Every year, at least 40 of them go back into Rutgers. I created an endowment, a scholarship. Okay, I was talking to your development officer. I don't know, where is he? Houston. He's the best. Don't let him go. We had such a great conversation. We started talking about fundraising and capital campaigns and how I do my cultivation of funders. And we just couldn't stop because we know the value of cultivating people. It's all about people, folks. I have fundraised $150 million for this enterprise, okay? You come to Camden now and you'll see Cooper Street is alive. But you know what? I did that because of those children. What drives you every day? What drives you and what drives me has to be about giving back. It's about other people. It's not about us. And when you do for others, the world opens up. You get the rewards. All these promotions and titles and things that I have had nothing to do just with me. It had to do with the passions and the love that I have for the work that I do. And so I want to convey that you must be able to have that kind of passion and to discover why. Why is very important. And you'll become happier and more passionate about life. As you discover yourself, you respect yourself and others. You also take more risks and challenge yourself to see the big picture. You allow yourself to be the best you can be. Be open to change. Don't get discouraged when a job you really wanted does not pan out for you. It just opens doors to other opportunities. I learned that change is a necessity to grow, so go out there and look for a job that you help create for yourself. In your industry, in education, we're looking for architects of change. Go out there and make a difference by changing one thing you don't like. There are more injustices in the world, and we need ambassadors of change. Be the voice for the voiceless. Allow yourselves to make mistakes and be open to learn and change the world for the better. And don't hide the mistakes. Listen, I'm not perfect. I don't want to be perfect anymore. At this stage of my life, I really don't care. I always know that I ask for forgiveness after I do. So go do it and then ask for forgiveness. You'll be surprised. People want you to do, okay? Don't be afraid. Do you know what I learned? There's so many people are afraid of everything. I'm afraid of this, afraid of that. You know what I say to that? Get a dog. Get a dog. We can't be afraid. Take a position. Go do. And you know what? And when it's good for others, you'll be applauded. Some people are not going to like it, but you ask for forgiveness. That's all. Okay? Because we learn that in life, you know, this journey is about your journey, right? And bringing others with you. So be honest. Not sure about something? Ask questions. You screwed up? Hey, own it, right? I have always valued someone's willing to learn, and we do that in a different way by always highlighting regards for others, to be honest about the mistakes that we make, and to say, listen, I'm sorry, but I must move on, right? So keep moving forward, learn to hear feedback, and never let it fester. Instead of considering it, take what works and move on. Not all things that people give you or advices that people give you are going to be good. But you know what? If you have mentors, guess what? You're going to outgrow your mentors. I've learned that every mentor I had, I said thank you. But then when I outgrew them, I moved on and kept in touch. They became my partners and my friends, right? But you don't get stuck. Don't get stale. Reinvent yourself. If you don't know what to do, reinvent yourself, because that's the ability to reinvent yourself is critical, right? So stay focused, learn from everything. Remember, every moment is an opportunity to learn from everyone around you, no matter their title. Pay attention when things go well, pay extra attention when they're done, and watch how people react. Build relationships with the people who face problems by being their solution. Make connections and build meaningful relationships. Your biggest asset is your social capital. Build your kitchen cabinet. You know who's in your kitchen cabinet. Raise your hands if you know who's in your kitchen cabinet. You know what a kitchen cabinet is? Well, you go to your kitchen and you check. There are beautiful glasses and there are regular cups. And both are very important. The regular cups, you use them every day. There are people you see every day. Those are people you're cultivating. But there are people, you remember the nice glass and the nice china you take out when friends come over? Well, that china are those friends that have helped you. Put them in your kitchen cabinet. Keep them with you. Carry them with you. Treasure them. Value them. You never know what's going to happen. Did you know that I went to school with Bruce Willis? You have no idea. Bruce Willis was a nut. He was my friend. He's the only reason I keep my yearbook today, since 1972 when I graduated from high school, because of Bruce Willis. He's a millionaire. Who would have thought that Bruce will become a billionaire, right? Just mention that, right? The other day, I got a phone call from the nursing dean who says, Dr. Santiago, a graduate from Pennsgrove High School who graduated from Rutgers, is here, and she's a donor, and she wants to see you. I said, what? I didn't even remember her. She was a cheerleader. And when I went to high school, you see, I was interested in student government, social issues. I was organizing. So cheerleaders were not people I respected much. Boy, when she came, you can imagine, when I saw her, I said, this is a cheerleader. But she became a millionaire. Somehow, she got a patent. She works for a big Microsoft, and she remembered me, and she wanted to support my work. Of course, I'm cultivating her for a gift, all right? But it's important never to underestimate people, and so you got to build those relationships, and you have to cultivate them, and you got to be sure that you keep updated with them. Thank them. Be patient. Relationships with assets plus resiliency equals success. It won't be easy, but you have to start. It won't be easy, but you have to start somewhere. This is just the first step in the stairwell, so don't give up and know what is best yet to come. Utilize your coworkers. Don't be intimidated by your colleagues and superiors. Remember that they were once in your shoes when they began their careers. Leverage their knowledge and experience and find ways to take what worked for them and adapt it to the work for you. Treat everyone with respect and dignity. Speak when you walk into their offices every day. Say good morning to your bosses and peers and to the cleaning people, everyone as you pass their offices. Smile to the janitors and receptionists in your offices. Don't be so focused on getting ahead that it's all business all the time. Treating people with humanity and integrity is most importantly. You quickly learn that people's skills are essential for win-win, which is what we want to do. Keep your own counsel. Don't assume that coworkers won't repeat your criticisms of a colleague. When asked how you feel about individuals in the office, be open and vague with your answers. Always reserve judgment on your own coworkers until you have enough time to make your own mind. Prepare for the future. Develop good time management habits early on. Your workload will only increase with time, and so will your responsibilities. Be ready when they do. Figure out what you love to do, and then figure out how to get someone to pay for it. Congratulations. Happy Mother's Day to all of you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bonilla Santiago, for your inspiring message to our graduates in class of 2019. At Gwynedd Mercy University, we have a tradition of selecting a graduating student to address the graduating class. Through a very competitive process, one student emerges. Today, our student commencement speaker is Karen DeVos, who will be She will be receiving her doctoral degree in educational leadership. Karen earned her master's in education administration and supervision from Cheyney University and her bachelor's degree in business administration from Mansfield University. She currently serves as the assistant director of advising in the College of Arts and Sciences at Syracuse University. Please join me in welcoming the 2019 commencement speaker, Karen DeVos.
Thank you. Good morning, President D'Amelio, Board of Trustees, distinguished faculty, honored guests, family, friends, and my fellow graduates. I am Dr. Karen DeVos, and I represent one of the many voices of this graduating class of 2019. I wrestle with many words, ideas, and themes to present to you today. However, I'm not going to use any of them. I am going to speak from my heart. I was raised by a divorced single mother in Philadelphia, and I'm also a first-generation college student. Growing up, children who looked like me did not go to college. And although my mother is not a college graduate, she pushed for me and my siblings to continue our education beyond high school. My mother married young and had all of her 6 children, yes, 6 children, by the age of 23. She was raised to prioritize family and children over education. And in turn, she raised her children to strive for more than she ever had, more than life afforded her, and more than she ever imagined for herself. I always dreamed of attending college. I just did not know which college I wanted to attend, and honestly, I didn't know how I was going to pay for it. I just knew pursuing my education beyond high school was my escape from my neighborhood. Now, I stand here as a fulfillment of my mother's dream for me and as a distinctive Mercy graduate receiving my doctoral degree in education. And I will be honest, I struggled in college, and I do mean struggled. I was valedictorian of my high school class, but was academically dismissed from college, not Gwynedd Mercy, as a first-term freshman. Not because I was not smart enough, but because I lacked cultural capital. As a first-gen student, I did not have anyone at home who could show me how to navigate the university financial aid process or how to academically and socially integrate into a university community. I didn't know, and I was too embarrassed to ask for help. However, I did not want this experience to defeat me. And I did not allow this setback to define who I was as a person or what I could achieve in the future. So, I pulled myself up by the bootstraps to improve my situation. I eventually returned to college and graduated with my bachelor's degree in business administration. 5 years later, I earned my master's degree in educational administration and supervision with a proud GPA of a 4.0. Through these experiences, I personified the words resiliency and grit. Now, I intend to use all these experiences, coupled with my education, to promote education as a common good for all and not a luxury for the elite or privileged. I'm prepared to show all students, particularly Black and brown students, that this level of education is attainable. I'm prepared to share my story of struggle and the glory of my accomplishments. As a Mercy graduate, I'm prepared to purposefully and intentionally live up to the values of the university: integrity, respect, service, and social justice. And I will continue to promote the belief of the university that education is a lifelong process that enriches the intellectual, moral, and spiritual life of the individual and prepares one for an active role in society, as I have experienced this myself. I was told in the past that I was underprivileged. I was not underprivileged, I was underexposed. Underexposed to a quality public school education. I was underexposed in my community to people who look like me graduating from college. And I was underexposed to the student support resources to flourish during the undergraduate college years. Therefore, class of 2019, it is now our time and our responsibility to embody the values of Gwynedd Mercy University and expose all students to the possibilities their lives could have with a college degree. I challenge us all to be change agents, role models, mentors, guides, or simply a friend to young people who never dreamt that college was an option, to students who lack cultural capital, and to students who feel defeated by life circumstances. I challenge you all to expose them to all you have done and say, "Let me show you the way," and to help them one day cross the stage as we are today. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen, for sharing your story and for that wonderful message for your fellow class of 2019 graduates. We will now take a few moments to enjoy a musical selection performed by the Voices of Gwynedd. We will now have the presentation of degree candidates. The first doctoral degrees were awarded in 2016 to 2 students, and the number has grown to its present level of 55 degrees being awarded today. Please refer to your program booklet to see the remarkable variety of dissertation topics. Will the candidates who have completed the requirements for the Doctor of Education please rise? President D'Amelio, I present for the doctoral degree those candidates who have been approved by the faculty of the university.
By virtue of the authority committed to me by the Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the doctoral degree for which you have been recommended, admitting you to all the rights and privileges which throughout the world pertain to this degree, in testimony whereof you will receive the diploma of the university officially signed and stamped with the seal of the university.
I would now like to introduce Dr. Mary Sortino, the Dean for the School of Graduate and Professional Studies.
Will the doctoral candidates from the School of Graduate and Professional Studies please come to the stage? Beverly Lynn Barksdale. Dissertation titled Retention, Persistence, and Supports for Students in English as a Second Language Classes at Community Colleges. Will be hooded by her dissertation advisor, Dr. Susan Malone. Tiffany Elizabeth Bates. The perception of Pennsylvania pre-service teachers regarding their preparedness to utilize and integrate educational technology into the classroom. She will be hooded by her dissertation advisor, Dr. Raymond Bandlow. Tamra Bell Boyle. 3 case studies of factors relating to non-completion of doctoral degree, then completion of the ABD doctoral degree in education, will be hooded by the dissertation advisor, Dr. Dan King. Charles Robert Bomboy, Jr. The perceptions of alternative education leaders on special programs, preparing them to lead alternative schools for at-risk students, hooded by dissertation advisor, Lucia Polino. Donna Marie Broderick. Debt Smarts. Financial decision-making of college freshmen attending a 2-year private educational institution. Will be hooded by dissertation advisor, Dr. Catherine Lombardozzi. Christine Louise Brown. The effect of studying a foreign language in the elementary school on 4th grade test scores. Will be hooded by dissertation advisor, Dr. Laura Roberts. Kali Diana Bush. African American teachers' perceptions of racial disparity within suburban school districts, hooded by Program Director Dr. Raymond Bandlow. Sorry. Deborah Carrera. Principal Evaluation and third grade student reading achievement will be hooded by Dissertation Advisor Lori Zickler-Bandlow. Andrea Carol Castronova, Learning Styles and Demographic Predictors of College Student Satisfaction in an Online Learning Environment, hooded by Dissertation Advisor Dr. Ellen Henderson. Catherine Courtney, Perceptions of and Factors Influencing Professional Preparedness Among Entry-Level Athletic Trainers, a comparison of professional bachelor's and professional master's graduates, hooded by Dissertation Advisor Dr. Rodney Altamus. Jeremy Wayne Curtis, Responding to an Active Assailant, Public High School Staff's Perceived Preparedness, hooded by Dissertation Advisor Dr. Melanie Gerens. Janet M. Elliott Leach, Educators' Beliefs, Perceptions, and Experiences with Reflective Practice and its Role in K-12 Teacher Professional Development, hooded by Dissertation Advisor Dr. Matthew Walsh. Alfonso Evans, Effective Teacher Preparation of White Female Teachers Who Teach Black Male Students in Urban K-8 Schools, will be hooded by Dr. Tiffany Creswell-Yeager, Program Faculty. Violet Hansley-Seibel, Student Achievement in Philadelphia Regional Charter Schools, a Comparative and Longitudinal Study, will be hooded by Dr. Raymond Bandlow, Program Director. Ellis Edward Jones, Jr., Conditions Prompting Technology Integration in the Classroom, hooded by Dissertation Advisor Dr. Catherine Kiris. Marie Sally Kim, Trauma-Informed Classrooms, hooded by Dissertation Advisor Paul Kasanich. Stephanie San Leister, Administrators and Teachers' Perceptions of Implementation of Instructional Technology in Secondary One-to-One Laptop Computing Environments, hooded by Dissertation Advisor Dr. Raymond Bandlow. Lauren A. Linkowski, The Effects of Math Anxiety on Non-Traditional Learners, hooded by Dissertation Advisor Dr. Susan Malone. Jennifer Marie Reinheimer, Teachers and Principals' Perceptions of Leadership Skills and Attributes that Impact Student Learning, hooded by Dr. Tiffany Creswell-Yeager, Program Faculty. Iris Roland, Benefits of Culturally Responsive Teaching and Enhancement of the Academic Engagement of Culturally and Linguistically Diverse Students, hooded by Dr. Raymond Bandlow, Program Director. Michelle R. Roman, Barriers registered dental hygienists face while completing higher levels of education, hooded by Dr. Tiffany Creswell-Yeager. Catherine Royal, Teachers' Professional Development Practices regarding the identification of giftedness in culturally, linguistically, and economically diverse students, hooded by Dr. Raymond Bandlow. Lisa J. Russo. Teachers' Perceptions and Understanding of the Universal Design for Learning Model, hooded by Dr. Tiffany Creswell Yeager. Algis Peter Skadzinskas. Senior Student Affairs Officer's Perceptions of the Differences in the Student Life Experiences of White Undergraduate Matriculated Students who attend historically Black colleges and universities versus their non-white counterparts, hooded by Dr. Raymond Bandlow. Tamara Eve Salamito. Elementary parent reactions to the motivation and goal-setting related aspects of the standards-based report card, hooded by Dr. Tiffany Creswell Yeager. Garrett John Von Essen IV. Maryland High School Mathematics Teachers' Perceptions of the Common Core State Standards, hooded by Amanda Benalkin, Dissertation Advisor. Brian Lee Weston. The Effects of Career Technical Education on the Engagement and Perception of High School Freshmen, a Qualitative Study, hooded by Dr. Raymond Bandlow. Karen DeVos. The impact of a first-year experience program on the retention of underrepresented students at a predominantly white institution, hooded by Dr. Tiffany Creswell Yeager. Amy Kristen Mangano. The impact of school climate on interpersonal professional relationships between school leadership and staff. She will be hooded at the front of the stage by her mother, Dr. Sandra Mangano.
Please join me in acknowledging all of these doctoral degree graduates. Will the candidates who have completed the requirements for the master's degree please rise? President D'Amelio, I present for the master's degree those candidates who have been approved by the faculty of the university.
By virtue of the authority committed to me by the Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the master's degree for which you have been recommended, admitting you to all the rights and privileges which throughout the world pertain to this degree, in testimony whereof you will receive the diploma of the university, officially signed and stamped with the seal of the university.
I am Dr. Heather Flegger, Dean of the School of Business and Education. Will the Master's in Business Administration degree graduates from the School of Business and Education please come to the stage? Angela Rose Kendust. Paul Kim. Austin Lawrence Lisanik. Arno Carl Francis Warwick.
Will the master's degree candidates from the School of Graduate and Professional Studies please come to the stage. All master's degrees for the School of Graduate and Professional Studies, please come to the stage. Karam Al-Jaraki. Kristen Baer. John Michael Tchaikovsky. Tracy Conlon. Samantha Coyle. Rachel Lynn Fadouk. Jenny Lynn Houston. Jaleesa A. Jackson. Mark Alexander Krish. Caroline McCleary. Cassandra Janine Pierre. Stephen Anthony Rothermel. Brennan Ethan Rudnick. Michelle J. Sims. Aisha M. Small. Thomas Neal Snaith. Charnay Rosalind Battle. Latanya D. Sutherland. Kristen Marie Sprenkle. Gary Albert Sullivan, Jr. Kimberly Wan. John Briody. Rachel Lee DeBlas. Francesca Dyer. Jacob David Evans. Tammy Toland Flood. Patrick First. Lori Marie Kiefer. Yvette Magdalinskas. Danielle Plystack. Brandon Mark Preto. Shakina Saunders. Frank James Vile III. Ashawn Washington Sproul. Heidi Elaine Allen. Thank you. Tanya Aponte. Tahira Naomi Jackson. Jessica Lee Bailey. Deirdre Allison Brown. Timothy John Brown. Nicole Clinton. Taylor Lynn Daddario. Dorothy Elizabeth Adams. Angelica Maria Alicea. Megan Sonia Bernat. Tynika Bookard. Joanne Melissa Cantos. Diana M. Dominiano. Betsy Corinne Falk. Gabeline? Yeah. Victoria Lee Gabeline. Karen Guinan Zumsky. Lori Harris. Mariah Johnson. Riley Anna Jones. Jennifer Ann Kaplan. Megan P. Kirby. Rebecca Noel Lawless. John Mellon. William Timothy Murphy. Kylia Newton. Casey Plezak. Craig Rogers Grant. Amanda C. Serrell. Monica Staley. Delicia Walker. Nicholas Dante DeMuzio. Jennifer Dorofchuk. Katie Eggert. Kirsten Rose Gunn. Annika Sherrill Hudson. Christine Karcher. Stacy Kim. Kara Mary Kolb. Erica Rose Kowalski Miller. Emily Catherine Lazovich. Caitlin Rose Meyer. Victoria Allison Miniscalco. Joanna Yvette Nunez. Amanda Marie Tingle Oline. Rachel Caitlin Carney. Patricia A. Davis. Karen Flowers Keller. Allison Lucille Goffredo. Kristen Lee Hollenbach. Brittany Wilson Smith Gordon.
I am Dr. Ann Phelan, Dean of the Francis M. McGuire School of Nursing and Health Professions. Will the master's degree candidates from the Francis M. McGuire School of Nursing and Health Professions please come to the stage? Alsdorf. Charles Bourne. Patrice Carver. Leah Fahey. Brianna Gallagher. Jennifer Hayward. Allison Maureen Ostish. Jacqueline Newsom Norris. Crystal Parker. Andrea Repine. Kimberly Ann Simeone. Stephanie Jennifer Roten.
Please join me in acknowledging these master's degree graduates. Haifa Tyler, a 1995 graduate of the university and president of the Alumni Association Board, will now come forward to greet our new alumni.
Good morning. President D'Amelio, trustees, faculty, staff, honored guests, and graduates, thank you for allowing me the privilege to stand before you all on this momentous occasion. My name is Haifa Tyler, and I'm a proud Gwynedd Mercer University graduate of 1995 and the current president of the Alumni Association Board. I wish to offer my heartfelt congratulations to our graduates and your families on your milestone achievement. On behalf of the board of the Alumni Association and the entire university community, you are now of the honorable distinction of being Gwynedd Mercer University alumni, and we welcome you to our extended family. Our university community encourages, through our many activities, we offer alumni to be part of the bigger whole. Whether it's a homecoming event, reunion, meeting up at one of our road tour visits around the country, or strengthening your rapport with fellow peers as graduates of the last decade, are gold. You have the opportunity, as you have always had with Gwynedd Mercy University, to aspire in an enduring manner for your intellectual and professional renewal. The mission and values of the university is inherent in each one of you and will forever be the conduit when you extend outwardly your circle of influence, but also inwardly when you need a way back home to your character roots. Most of the great religions of the world ask their devout followers to perform 3 acts for an extended time in a given year: to fast, to pray, to give in charity. For Christianity, it is our Lent and our Easter. It is during such pious times of one's spiritual year to be fully present and engaged with yourselves, your family, your brethren, your community, your world. To cleanse your souls, open your minds and hearts, and give unto others selflessly. I recently read of how this equates to asking us to give up, give in, and give out. It is incumbent upon us to pause and take stock of our life at select times. Be reflective of your past, those who loved, empowered, and sustained you. Be inflective to your current state by being the change agent of what is good and just. And lastly, be effective in your future by fulfilling beyond your potential and being a presence to be reckoned with. I urge each of you to be courageous, to let go of old habitual thoughts and actions that burden you, to be free and inviting to new perspectives of our beautiful world and humanity within the realms of love, kindness, respect, and equality, and fearlessly and altruistically contribute for others. In the end, your life journey is summed in a cyclical pattern of continuously giving up, giving in, and never ever forgetting in giving out. You are surrounded by many within this amazing university community, and we will forever share an undeniable bond. I wish the best to each of you as you embark on your exciting travels. And let us not forget our mothers. In every capacity, they have truthfully and faithfully served their role. Happy Mother's Day. Congratulations, class of 2019, and welcome to the Alumni Association. God bless you and thank you.
Thank you, Haifa, for your warm welcome to our new alumni. As we reach the conclusion of this year's commencement exercises, it is time to bid farewell to our new graduates. My congratulations to you, new alumni of Gwynedd Mercy University. You now join the more than 21,000 men and women who are proud to call GMercyU their alma mater. I also offer my expression of sincere gratitude to all the parents, grandparents, spouses, children, and friends of our new graduates. Thank you for the love and support you have so generously shared with them. As we've heard a couple of times today, tomorrow is Mother's Day, and it is fitting as we close this ceremony that we acknowledge and thank every mother in the room. Would you please stand if you are a mother in the room, and please applaud. For one final time, graduates, while you are among the members of our GMercyU community, I ask you to reflect in your heart, mind, and soul on our core values that are at the foundation of everything we do here. As you leave today as distinctive Mercy graduates, I hope you do so valuing academic excellence and are always ready to engage in rigorous and intellectual inquiry, that you leave with a strong sense of community and collaboration, that you exhibit compassion and competence in all your endeavors, and you never lose sight of the dignity of every single person, that you continually demonstrate socially responsible behavior. For all of you, I hope you all have successful careers and meaningful lives. May the peace and joy of heartfelt mercy accompany all of you on life's journey. God bless you. As we conclude these exercises, Christine Eberly, Director of Campus Ministry, will provide a benediction, followed by our alma mater, performed by the Voices of Gwynedd. After the alma mater, the platform party will exit the stage, followed by the faculty and graduates. Graduates can pick up their diplomas in the room where they lined up this morning. Families can exit in the back of this room and meet their graduates around the front of the building. Please rise.
Let us pray for our newest graduates. God has called you by name and chosen you to go forth and bear fruit. May the work of your hands be a blessing to those who suffer in body, mind, or spirit. God has enriched you with gifts of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. May the work of your mind bring creative solutions to the problems of our day. God has welcomed you into the circle of mercy. May the work of your heart widen that circle until it embraces the whole world with joy. And may God, who has begun this good work in you, carry it through to completion. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen.